everybody, welcome back to the Arizona Fire Service Pipe Band Drum Corps video series. Please like and subscribe. Today we're going to be doing a quick overview on flams and drags, a little bit of difference between the two, what they're used for, how to execute, how to practice. So with a flam, you can see right there, that's a right-handed flam. It's got that little tiny eighth note looking guy. That's your embellishment or your ghost note. And it's right up against your primary note, which in that case is a right hand, and then in that case is a left hand. And the difference with the drags, so we can see the difference now on a drag, sitting here. This is a right-handed drag. I gotta double check that. Right-handed drag, and it's got what looks like a pair of 16th notes up against it, and then left-handed. And same thing, the primary note is the hand, the other one is the grace note, the ghost note, the embellishment, whatever you want to call it. So a flam is this, right and left, and a drag is this, right and left. As we know, the flam is used to punch up the sound just a little bit, for example, and the drag is used to mute the sound down a little bit. It's not as effective, doesn't come across as well on a pad as it does a drum, but doing that and holding that stick against the pad reduces the vibration available for the drum, and it's one of the ways that we can make the dynamics that the pipers can't make, so it sounds like the whole band is doing that. So they're both executed very similarly. You have the tap motion on your primary note. If you're doing a flam, it's that. And then if you're doing a drag, same thing with your primary motion, is from a tap. So you're breaking the wrist, you're lifting the tip up above the hands. But you'll notice on the grace note, whether it's for the flam or for the drag, we're just dropping it in. It's just sitting right there. It doesn't need to, if we're going to execute a right flam, this is a great way to learn it. And I mean, put the tip of that stick all the way up at your eyeballs, okay? Because this will definitely build in your brain and in your muscles a separation of the two so that we get that. The danger being, if they both hit at the same time, we get a pop sound. Even on a pad, that sounds wrong. So we definitely don't want that popping sound. So a great way to train your brain and your muscles is to make sure you separate, lift and separate, as Bruce Forrest would say. Lift and separate the sticks like that. The embellishment note hand has no reason to come up. That's not going to gain you anything, especially because we don't want any power out of it. We don't want anything but to simply drop it in. So do this with me. Set up your hands. Your left is about an inch off of the pad. Your right is right up here in front of your eyes. And just drop them at the same time. Just let go of them at the same time. The left has to hit before the right does. Now that's a little bit separated. We're going to work on that. But start here. Just separate them lightly and keep that left down. And just drop rather than, as some people are inclined to do, lift and then drop. Because what's going to happen is we lift, the sticks are now together, and we're going to end up with pops coming out all the time. So, and then we can switch them just like that too. And all you have to do to switch is stop that primary hand close to the drum. And it doesn't take a grip or anything. You're just stopping it there with your fingers or with your thumb. Right? So let's do some alternating flams. So set up for your right hand is up, left hand is close, and we're going to just drop it in, ready, and make the switch. So get your right hand now set up an inch off the pad, left one up nice and high, and here we go, drop it in, and make the switch, just like that. Nice and easy. Make sure you're set up right, drop it in, and one more time with a left-handed flam. It's all the way up here at your eyeballs. This one's hanging an inch off of the pad, and drop it in. Now you'll notice the rate at which I did that. It's on purpose. We need to practice glacially slow. Glacially slow practice is going to gain you far more benefit than just zipping through. Oh, okay, I'm going to practice my flams. You could have all sorts of bad habits built in, like your sticks swinging out sideways like they were just then, and everything just being harsh. But if you really sit there and you say, okay, I'm going to execute a perfect right-handed flam, then you would set it up. If it was $1 million for perfectly executed, you would take all the time in the world to set it up and make certain that what's going to come out is a beautiful right-handed flam, right? So think that way when you're practicing. Go slow, separate them, got them all set up, everything's perfect, drop it, great. Get everything exactly perfect here, drop it again. And doing that is gonna build in to your brain and your hands perfect flams every time. No question, no matter how fast you're going along in a piece, that you're gonna have perfectly executed flams. Same goes for the drags. All of that is the same for the drags. The only difference is in how we're approaching that grace note and what that grace note is used for. So we mentioned that drags are used to kind of mute the drum a tiny bit and create that dynamic. Well then, therefore, it really wouldn't make sense for us to put any power into drags because we'd be opposing the work we're trying to do by muting it down. So drags are nice and easy. And we can do the same thing with the setup. Bring it all the way up to your eyes. Now with this left hand, which is just sitting an inch off of the pad, it's simply going to lower down, just like your previous grace note. Your right hand is going to act exactly the same as before. And all we need to do is the pressure it takes with your thumb to create a buzz, increase it until you get that. It just sets onto the pad and it stays on the pad. That's one of the critical things to a drag. If we're using it to limit that vibration, to create that mute, we want to keep it on there. I have had some instructors who say, you leave it there until you need that right hand again. I think there's some pieces of music that would disagree with that, but the idea being, leave that down. Just like we do at the end of a roll, right? A 7-stroke roll. You leave that last buzz down so you're certain it completes the movement you want. So same thing here. So let's practice some drags. Let's just start with this hand here. We're going to put that pressure in with the thumb, and an inch off of the pad or so, we're just going to set it down. And one more. And then with the right, creating your pressure like you would for a buzz, but more, and set it down. Nice and easy, just like that. All right, so let's do right-handed, just like with our flams. Set them up real high. Ready, and switch. Now you notice our switching process is different because we have to keep that embellished hand down, right? And drop, and drop. Very basic overview of flams and drags. I hope you've enjoyed this. And again, please like and subscribe, share it with anyone you think might get value out of this, and we'll see you in the next video. Thank you very much.